everyone. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be talking about The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. You might know this author. She's a best-selling author. She did the City of Brass series. I have yet to read this series. So this was my introduction into her writing style and her storytelling. Completely going in blind. I will say, at the end of the day, I love this book. It follows Amina. You know, she's trying to live a normal life. She's settled down with her daughter and her mom. She's trying to make a good life with what she has. You know, she used to be a famous female pirate. And now she's just like, you know what, I have a daughter. Let me just retire. Lots of shit happened that last time. And I can't deal with it anymore. Right? Enter in an obscenely wealthy woman who blackmails her into rescuing her kidnapped granddaughter. But here's the catch. That granddaughter happens to be the daughter of one of her fellow shipmates who died under her watch. So, of course, she feels obligated. She's like, oh, God damn it. Now I have to do this. I can't not do this. Not to mention, it's going to also make her incredibly wealthy, so she can finally really provide for her daughter and her mother in the way that she really wants to. So she goes and gets Dalila, the mistress of poison, another fellow comrade from her pirating days, and then she goes and gets Timbu, who unfortunately gets arrested right when she's about to recruit him. Now, those first 130 pages were very, very slow for me. Again, not very familiar with this author's writing style. I don't know if this is something she does. There was some world building, some character dynamic building, some characterization, and some history. Thankfully, not all of that was like bogged down in those 130. There's still a whole lot of development throughout the rest of the story. But those first 130 pages, as we're setting up the story, we're setting up the plot, it really was rather slow for me. However, the moment she rescues Timbu by, blowing up the prison, that's when everything just took off and I was hooked. From that moment forward, I was completely hooked. Now, you also have to acknowledge, this time period. There is a Latin American Christian who's kind of hunting her down. She doesn't know why, but not only is he hunting her down, he's also the one responsible for kidnapping. Did I write her name? Yeah, Dunya. He's also the one responsible for kidnapping Dunya. So, something weird is going on here. Falco, who she calls the Frank, a lot of Latin American Christians during this time period were called Franks, and the Byzantines were called Rums. I do applaud Chakraborty's historical accuracy here, and I think it does lend the world building some authenticity. If these are things that you might be offended by, that's why I'm telling you about them here. Even though she does tell you about them in her author's note before she even tells you the story. It's just, those were colloquialisms used during those time periods. So, take it for what it is. It's just historical narrative. And that's how I took it. I really did enjoy that storytelling, and I did enjoy that historical atmosphere in here, but I also enjoyed the humor. These characters, their family dynamic, because they are a family. She made a family with her shipmates. They are hilarious. Timbu and Dalila, Amina, even Rakesh, who no one can stand. It was just very, very engaging. I mean, some parts were just like, oh my God, are you serious, Rakesh? Are you serious right now? And Dalila, she's just crazy. Mistress of Poison, she's just a little nuts. But I love her. But, even though there is a lot of humor there with these character dynamics, there's also a lot of seriousness. These characters love each other in a way that they are so respectful. Some of them are Muslim, some of them are Christian, but there's no animosity between their religious beliefs. They respect and honor each other's religious beliefs, which I thought was really wonderful for their dynamics. especially when you get to some of those harder scenes, because Falco is a despicable bastard and does some horrifying things. Even when you get to those scenes and you're seeing that respect, that's where you're really invested in the family unit here. And I really, really loved that. I loved the characterization. I loved how they built up Falco as this. He's basically a mad sorcerer. He's nuts. He is deranged and power hungry, and he wants the magic of the gods in his hands, basically. He's crazy. And he does a lot of dangerous things with the magic he has ransacked from other lands. I mean, he was a mercenary. So he has no qualms about killing people in whatever way he sees fit. He's not a good person. So that moment when Dunya and Amina, that final confrontation, whew, I was just like, you go girl, you go girls. Or no, you go girl. There's also a lot of respect for the identity as well for these characters. You've got a character who doesn't want to be identified as a woman. They want to be identified as a man. And then you have LGBTQ characters as well. Tinbu, for example. I really like that representation. And again, you're seeing that love and that acceptance on the high seas here with these characters. There's no animosity at all. It's just like, so you want to be a guy. So that's how you see yourself. That's fine. I'll give you the clothes. I mean, Amina is such a heartwarming character, and I love her, and she's really, I guess, pragmatic as well. But, whew, she is a force to be reckoned with. Overall, I have to give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I want to give it 5. I really do, because it really was such a great introduction into this author's storytelling and writing style. I want to go read more of her books now. So when an author makes me want to read more of them, I mean, you've done your job successfully. You've hooked me, not just in this story, but in your writing style. So I really want to read, City of Brass and, what is it, Kingdom of Copper? No, I think Kingdom of Gold. Or Empire of Gold is thrown. I don't know. That trilogy. Those are the ones I want to read now. So I'm probably going to end up buying them sometime in the future. After I read the 3-Body Problem. There's a lot I want to read. You saw my TBR video. I have a lot to read. But I really loved it. It's just those 101st 30 pages were really rather slow for me, that I did question, is this a book I'm going to like? Is this a book that's going to keep me engaged and hooked? Because those first 130 pages were very, very slow for me personally. But I'm glad that it just took off, and then once it took off, I was hooked. I was absolutely 100% hooked from page 130 to the end. So that's why it doesn't get those full 5 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, I will include links in the description below on where to purchase. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with all your book-loving friends. You can also become a supporter by following any of my social media platforms, or by making a small donation to my Buy Me Coffee, Ko-fi, Patreon, or by purchasing one of my handmade candles. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading!